What's good, everybody? Now, as you guys know, tomorrow, the 22nd of April, I will be playing Limbus Company for the first time on Twitch and on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to be notified when I go live. And I have been recommended this video a number of times by the one and only Mr. Feet. That was done 3 months ago. I played one of the best gacha games ever made, and you should too, Limbus Company. So, hello, sleeper agents, welcome. This is going to be yet another Limbus react before I get into my actual playthrough tomorrow. And I'm really excited for.
The words good gacha game can easily be seen as a bit of an oxymoron. These games don't really have the best reputation for various reasons, whether it be
just look at the Game Awards, for example. Every time people see an anime game on the screen, they go, oh, gacha game. Oh no, it's a gacha. Oh, all the normies, L, gacha, L. Yeah, we're seen as like the trash bottom of the barrel in the gaming society. It's pretty bad. Yeah, gacha slop L.
Players perceiving it as a ripoff of a popular game, gooner bait, low-quality slop, or, most notably, a predatory way to drain money away from consumers. So, what makes a good gacha game then? How about one that actively hates money?
You can have it. Say thanks!
No! This is Limbus Company, a turn-based RPG with more RNG built into the gameplay than its own gacha system that also happens to have—
Oh no, is the combat that RNG dependent? Wait, is it that? Oh no, am I gonna have to do like mental math arithmetic as I play this game? Oh shit. Oh god.
One of the best stories I've ever seen in any media, period. There is little to no marketing for this game aside from Roblox and YouTube videos calling this the best gacha you've never heard about. And this is no exception to that. This is one of the few pieces of media that I've consumed in my life that has actually gotten me close to crying, and it's because of this game's beautifully crafted stories, well-developed characters.
The way that y'all have hyped up this story for me, if I'm not crying in tears like a pathetic little asshole that I am, I'm going to blame all of you guys.
And it's interesting gameplay. But today, I hope to tell you all about this wonderful game that has taken up over 200 hours of my life this year, and to explain why I believe this is one of it.
200 hours is actually quite a lot. Like, for a normal person that, like, has, like, work life and a job, you know, 240 hours is quite a long time to spend in a single game.
If not the best gacha games that you can play right now.
Oh boy! Oh boy, the music! Awesome intro.
Limbus Company begins with a clock person getting attacked by the lion, only for said lion to then get hit by a wild bus. Ever since the fire trucks came out, this type of violence has been much more common. This clock person is Dante, the main protagonist of the game, who is currently having amnesia, and you know that makes sense because their head got surgically replaced with a clock. I am just going to say this right now. Dante is the best protagonist out of any gacha game, period, and by far the drippiest. Now, I am not the biggest fan of amnesia tropes and narratives. It is way overdone in my opinion, especially for gachas. However, this is one of the few exceptions that not—
There is a lot of like tropes around amnesia because it's like characters are like, they have no depth, they're blank, and then it tends to be the story kind of revolves in a very like pretty much an awful way. Because the character is so blank and has nothing, it takes a long time to really get things going. And the only way you could establish any kind of lore world building is through like the other characters around you. And so that becomes really important. So when you're a game that has a character with amnesia, it's so important that you have to write the other characters well. They have to tell you about the world. You have to explore the world. You have to be told about the world you live in, because the main character isn't going to give you that because he doesn't know who the fuck he is. That's why a lot of games that do this amnesia thing, it can be kind of rough because they fail to actually tell you what's happening in the world around you and why. You're just talking to another character that's talking at you rather than trying to include you in what's going on.
Only does it well, but fucking excels at it. And I'll be honest, I don't like too many gacha MCs, so when I'm given the role of some epic character who's done a lot of things in the past, but they have amnesia now, or someone that is universally loved and is amazing at everything,
Oh, bro, that Rover slander of him looking like the most generic MC ever. No, don't slander my boy. I actually really like Rover. I'm beginning to like Rover more and more now that like 3.0 stuff in Wuthering Waves is picking up in terms of its overarching lore and story. He's actually becoming a lot more appealing to me, but like, damn the slander.
My thoughts are just...
Oh, okay.
Which is why Dante is so refreshing, because this feels like a real character. Dante has the foundation of...
Okay, but he looks goofy though. Bro, he has a clock for a face. How am I meant to relate to that when he doesn't even look human? Alright, I'm sorry. Hey.
Of a generic self-insert MC. But the amnesia works here because this is the third game in a trilogy. So if Limbus is your first game, then you're in the same shoes as Dante. And if it's not your first game in the Project Moon world, it still works because Limbus goes beyond the first two games. But what puts Dante into the stratosphere is that their character is not defined by their amnesia. Yes, they lost their memories, but Dante has goals. They talk a lot. They make mistakes, and they learn just as we do.
There's a severe problem in gacha games with the MCs not actually speaking in their own fucking story. You know how one of the things people say about Wuwa, I know I'm speaking about Wuwa a lot because it's the gacha I've played the most of its story, right? The thing with like Rover, everyone always says, the whole story revolves around Rover. It's not meant to build up the world that much, right? It's his story, so of course the game focuses on him. It's like, okay, you say that, but yet he still doesn't talk an overwhelming lot either. It's like, which is it?
They feel like a real...
They have made him talk more and more as time goes on, slightly. But still.
Person. And it is so nice to play a gacha game where everyone around you doesn't do tricks on it. Oh my god.
No, this is fun! No, this is fun!
You don't have a hair.
Given the current drama, that's fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
In this game. These people are not your friends to start out with, and you do not have a singular traveling companion to tell you everything. You have 12 employees that just see you as a boss. You get one meat writer, one, and she only acts like this once she finds out you're the boss. If your title was literally anything different, she would not give a fuck about you. The cast of Limbus Company is such a breath of fresh air. These characters are all unique and have their own
Did he just say, what did he just say?
Limbus Company is such a breath of fresh air. These characters
I'm deathly allergic to Is that real? Is that a real line?
characters are all unique and have their own personalities and
A genius with whom you're lucky to cross paths even once in your life.
identities. Project Moon fans are loving that joke right now. These are the 12 sinners, and they are what make Limbus Company Limbus Company. But we'll talk more about them in a minute because right now they are here to fight for us. But just because they'll fight for us, that doesn't mean they'll win. Yes, as we are on the brink of death, our 12 heroes jumped out of the bus just so they could also get their asses kicked. However, what makes this cast of characters special is that they are linked to us. Dante is the ultimate empath. We can wind our clock back and feel that pain too. How far does this pain go, you might be wondering? Well, it extends to death. Now, one would think that upon seeing a power like this, most people would be more considerate and more careful around their surroundings, so as to not hurt the one person capable of defying nature. Well, this is how our cast reacts.
Well, these claws ain't for just attracting mates. Bring it on, old man! Bring it on!
Wait! I know tensions are high.
These creatures represent all different sides
Yeah, fuck you guys, die.
of the autism spectrum and are based on important figures surrounding literature. We've got Yisang, a depressed nerd who likes to spam his vocal stem.
Does anyone know someone who can help us? Anybody? Anybody at all?
I know someone who can help.
If you say you're fired.
Bro, my comment section being filled with people being, an ideal refresh pull. This video is in fact ideal. I smell ideal. Y'all are cooked. Y'all are brain rotted. Yeah. Okay, if you're still watching, type it in the comments down below. Type this is very, you got it. Anyway.
이상적이지 않소.
Get out!
Faust, a being who appears to be nearly omniscient and acts like Grok for most of the journey. Don Quixote, arguably the poster child of Limbus Company, and is currently hyperfixated with tales of heroism and will not shut the fuck up about it. Ryoshu, a violent, insane psychopath who speaks primarily with acronyms.
Need her. I could fix her. violent, insane psychopath, it's okay, baby. Like spend a couple of days with me. I'll fix you. We'll get rid of all your trauma. It'll be fine, and you'll be right as rain.
Shut your bitch ass up!
Marceau, the unintentionally funniest character in this game, bro straight up punches a woman to avoid a citywide conflict. Honglord, the most beautiful man with homophobia you've ever seen, and is also a
Homophobia, my man. I'm joking, guys. I love gay people.
equipped with a nice smile. That's all there is to him. Heathcliff, the most stable British person you'll ever meet in your life. Ishmael, probably the most rational and normal person aside from all of the trauma. Rodian, a charismatic, charming woman who instead of spending her time on the basketball courts, chooses to indulge in a bit of gambling. Sinclair, someone that can easily be interpreted as a little bitch until you step back and realize, no, wait, everyone around him is actually just insane. Otis, a war veteran who is a D1 meat writer for Authority. And finally, we have Gregor, potential man himself, who is a war veteran that hasn't fully recovered from their past, but overall they're a pretty chill guy. That covers the playable cast, but we're also joined on the bus by its driver Charon and our guide Virgilius. Charon is the cute little mascot driver that operates the man-eating bus, and Virgilius is our tour guide who is about as useful as a knitted condom.
So AKA, he's there to kind of push narratives along a little bit. Is that what I'm hearing? He's just there to kind of push the narrative along. Okay.
Is here to aura farm, call us an idiot, and tell us what to do. This is just a very brief description of what these characters are like at a first glance, but trust me, there is so much more than what I've let on about. We are in charge of this group of chucklefucks, and our journey is about going through the different districts of the city so we can obtain the golden bows. Now, what is a golden bow, you might ask? Well, they are branches. That's what we call stems growing from the trunk of a tree. These ones happen to have a golden glow to them. You think I'm being a smartass by saying this when all I'm doing is quoting Virgilius? I told you these people do not fuck with you like that. Hope you don't mind if a white boy speaks a little Italian, but this game's story is divided into cantos. Each canto has two narrative purposes. The first being to find and obtain the golden bows, since the higher-ups at Limbus Company want them for some undisclosed reason. The other purpose being to develop the sinners and learn about their stories. This right here. This is what makes the game so incredible. These characters are more than just an excuse to grab monies from consumers, and this is what separates Limbus Company from other gachas. When gachas design characters, it can very clearly feel like they made certain units with only one goal in mind. But in Limbus Company, you are...
Makes it... A lot of the meta right now with the gacha games is like, to make a unit that really only works in a team with another very specific unit that they conveniently just ran, or they're rerunning currently at the same time. So now you need 2 units. And then conveniently, you need a weapon that goes with them as well. And then you need that too. And then, yes, these gacha games are getting fucking insane.
Stuck with these 12 characters for the entire journey. All 12 of them are with you, and each of them have their own stories to go through, independent of just finding a cool stick.
And I like that as well, because that's another problem with like gacha games, that a lot of traditional ones where they have a new cast of characters like every couple of months. It's really hard to write stories when you have a limited time with a cast, right? Like it definitely can work and it can happen, right? Like you've got like patches that come out over the course of like 4 months or 4 to 6 months, and you're able to write a whole like narrative in its own little thing. But there's something really cool about having one cast of characters that you spend all the time with, you develop with for a long period of time, and you can get a lot deeper into story, and you end up, you know, getting more like attachment to stuff, to characters over a course of a period of time. So I kind of like that. It's obviously why games like Atomi games as well, like Love and Deep Space, you only have like a set cast of like guys. With the reason but weeing is because you form better attachments, right? That's the whole point.
These stories are dark. They talk about some pretty mature themes. War trauma, overcoming your past, nihilism, coming to terms with reality, and so much more. There is a reason why this game is rated M. Just look at what shows up on the loading screen. This looks like a Twitter user's DNI list. These characters have seen some shit, and learning about them and what makes them who they are is one of the biggest appeals to this game. These don't feel like characters designed for a video game to make money. These feel—
Oh, is that your guys' god? Is that the man? Kim Ji-hoon? Glory? My lord, yes.
feel like characters written for a story. Yes, they are using the visual novel format to convey the narrative, so you get situations where the writing is really intense and emotional, but the character sprite just looks like this. The writing and dialogue in this game doesn't treat you like a child. They trust that you can read, and they don't waste your time with bloated, incessant talking. Nearly every—
Paimon, Traveler! Did you wake up today and eat your breakfast? Traveler! I think we should go outside now. Traveler, did you go Okay, stop. Cease.
Every bit of dialogue has a purpose in this game, to either strengthen character interactions or the world. And they've got some straight heat in this game.
물러나라 자로. 더 혹독한 겨울을 주지 않으면 아우의 푸름을 짐작할 길이 없겠구나.
That's a motherfucking bar!
Learning this game's world and characters is one of the best recent gaming experiences I've had, and it's one that I dare not spoil here because I do not want to take this away from anyone. This game is anything but predictable when it's come to its stories. These sinners don't always get their character arcs resolved to the end of Kantos. The team doesn't always get the golden bow, and there isn't always a happy ending where everyone sings Kumbaya and has a dance party. No, there is no formula for the story aside from depression, but that's what makes those happy moments in the story mean so much more. If we get a golden bow on Kanto X, but not on Kanto YZ, then that one on Kanto X means more. And I know I said that I wouldn't spoil this story, then proceeded to reveal that we don't always get the golden bows, but I think that most Limbus fans would agree that this revelation is not what you are going to remember the story for. Kanto 1 is not about whether or not we get the golden bow. It's about Gregor, and the trauma he went through, and his failures. Kanto 5 is about getting direction in life. Kanto 7 is about escapism and the harms that it can bring. Yes, the golden bow.
It's like, it's the saying, it's not the destination, it's the journey. That's what I'm getting the impression of for Limbus. It's about the journey, not the end result.
Those are important, but that's not what these Kantos are about. You are playing them for the characters, and these characters actively change, learn, and grow throughout the story. Yi-Sang is not the same person after Kanto 4. Prior to Kanto 4, I didn't give a fuck about this guy if I'm being honest. He was just some dude that would pop up every now and then spam his voice line. But after Kanto 4, he might be the GOAT.
Like him and don't like him is nothing you could do about him because he's number one. Whether you like him or don't like him is nothing you can do about him because he's number one.
There is so much more I could tell you about the narrative of this game, but I cannot in good conscience do that because I do not want to spoil this.
Chat, who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite sinner? Who's your favorite? Ryoshu? Otis? Hard one? Gregor? Dom? Yi-Sang? Don? Fishmail? Faust and Don? Heathcliff? Okay, so Don seems to be the most popular.
For you. The only thing I will say is that if you are considering giving this game a shot, I would recommend finishing up to Kanto 3. Kanto 1 is probably the best introductory story I've seen in a gacha, but it does have some problems. Kanto 2 is widely regarded as the weakest one in the game, but it's still like a 6 out of 10, I would say. And Kanto 3 is where they really get their feet planted with how they format their stories. These three Kantos are the best way to view if you'll be hooked.
I just hope I'm gonna be able to like ADHD my way through it. Because I have a feeling when I do the stream tomorrow, it's gonna be a bit slow, okay? And I'm worried that people are gonna get like kind of annoyed or something like that. If I don't like pick it up like straight away or whatever. That's something that's in the back of my mind. It's gonna take a while to get there.
By Limbus Company, because they set the foundation. Kanto 1 has dark themes and graphic imagery, while Kanto 2 is more lighthearted and has plenty of character interactions between most members of the cast. Kanto 3 is a perfect blend of these two in my opinion, which is why I think completing the first 3 stories is the perfect benchmark for whether you should play this game or not. When it comes to stories in gacha games, there is a very clear difference between this is good and this is good for a gacha game. And Limbus has a...
That's why whenever we do story ratings, like whatever out of 10, it's like, okay, but is it a gacha out of 10 or is it a normal out of 10?
Great story. Now that we've briefly talked about the story and the game's interesting characters,
I'm like, what do you say me for?
let's look at the other mechanics that this game has to offer. First up is the gacha. Yes, this game has gambling in it, but Limbus goes one step beyond and makes their casino relevant to the plot. I said that there was only 12 playable characters in this game, and I did mean that. So what exactly are you gambling for if the game already gives you everyone to start out with? The answer is outfits. These are identities, and they are alternate versions of the sinners from other universes. These identities are based off of various associations of the game's lore and even characters from the story. So now we can answer questions like, what would this sexy beast look like if he was French? Some of my personal favorite identities include
Wait, he looked
Gregor,
kinda
the
cool.
Sinclair that kills himself,
책임을 다하지 못했으니 그에 맞는 벌을.
Jesus
and the
Christ.
magic bullet Otis.
We are Charlie.
And here's my other favorite IDs for those that are curious. The rates for these banners are pretty generous compared to most modern gachas, but there is a catch. There is no soft pity, there is no hard pity, and there is no true guarantee system.
500 cigarettes.
And when you first
Interesting gacha. How the frick do they make money?
hear this, you might be thinking, this sounds greedy and predatory as hell. And it does. But remember how earlier I said that this company hates money. I mean that.
Say thanks.
Because if you want a 3-star unit, then you can just shard them. Or wait for the developer team to make a simple mistake, then they'll just give you one. Seriously, this is the most generous gacha game
Yo, Pete,
What
thank
a
you for the
nasty, vile fucking
Yo,
cunt.
Pete, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it.
ever. They give out like a free 3-star ID every 4 months, it feels like. All because they accidentally put 2 R's in Merceau's name. Shards are another form of currency in this game that can be used in the back of the bus to get whatever character you want. For example, this Rhodian unit right here, I could just straight up go to the bus right now and get her. But I don't like charge units, so I'm not going to do that. Shards can be obtained by doing pulls and opening boxes that you get from the battle pass. And they're pretty easy to get, honestly. The only bit of FOMO this game has is getting units from the previous season because you have to wait another season for them to be available. This is my current struggle with Aurafist Gregor.
But I want it now!
The other bit of FOMO is Walpurgis Knocked, which is a special event that comes around once every who knows at this point to give players a chance of limited egos and units. Unless it's a character within these restrictions, getting the unit you want really isn't that difficult. Every 3-star ID costs 400 shards.
So people just save. So people just save until this, and it's just like a massive fucking like free-for-all.
The dog to even the cracked ones. It is all the same cost. And after playing for a while, it'll get to the point where gambling really isn't even worth it because you can just wait like 7 days, get the unit from shards, and save your pools for a character that you really want in the future. But that still won't save my child's college fund. My personal experience with the gacha has been pretty good, all things considered. Like I said, the rates are pretty generous. My first ever 3-star was an announcer of a character that doesn't even show up until like 50 hours of playtime. And when I got this, I thought, wow, so it's gonna be one of those gacha games, huh? But after that, and even now, I get 3-star characters pretty consistently, and even if I don't get the character I want in like 30 to 50 pools, I can just shard them later. I already have all of the characters that were available for the season's run, and the one I don't have is one that I don't want. I really don't care for charge. I'm fully aware that luck does play a part into this, and that is a common trend I have where I'm the lucky son of a bitch in every game that isn't my fucking job. In general, as someone who has spent probably like $105 on a game that I've been playing since April, I think I've gotten a pretty good amount of 3-star units from both pools.
You guys know I have a bit of a problem when it comes to spending in gacha games. I will just for vibes, I might spend tomorrow. Just for vibes. Just for vibes. We might do it. Just for like a celebratory fuck yeah, let's just do a tiny pull.
And shards. You can spend money on banners, but there is no point in whaling. Once you get a character, you've got them at the highest potential. There's no constellations or anything like
Oh, there are no dupes!
that. All you gotta do is level them up. So if you get 3 of these Merceaus in a banner, then all you got was 1 of those Merceaus and 100 Merceau shards. Whaling is really not necessary in this game, I promise you. All in all, the gacha is still gacha at the end of the day, but this is by far the most lenient one I've played. And I think the reason for that is because they put most of the randomness into the
gameplay.
All right,
Oh no.
now we get to the most interesting part about Limbus Company, the gameplay. Let me just show you one turn of combat. Yes, it seems like a lot, but let me break it down for you. At its core, Limbus Company's gameplay is about making sure your number is bigger than their number. But
am I gonna need a PhD in mathematics to like understand this?
it's so much more than that. Way more than that. I have never seen a system where all you have to do is roll a bigger number than your opponent be so complicated, but I will go over the basics of the game, and I mean basics. Each character has 3 combat skills and a defense skill. These numbers down here show you how many of the skills you have, and the order that these skills appear in is random. Yes, they come down like slots. When in battle, you will select your skills and clash with an opponent. As a clash begins, you will see these numbers flipping around. The number in the icon is the base power of the skill, and the number above that is how much will be added on whether or not you get heads on a coin toss. Yes, a fucking coin toss. Whoever gets the lower number loses 1 coin, and this process keeps going until someone becomes a broke bitch and the winner can flex on them.
Just pick a number 1 through 10. 10. 10, okay. So I'm gonna flex on you 10 times. 1, 2.
If you win the clash, you gain sanity, which is this circle over here. Your sanity is what gets added or subtracted to 50 and affects your odds of the coin toss. Everyone has a base sanity value of 0, but as you win a clash and defeat enemies, this number can increase up to 45. But
so you get better odds the more that you win.
But if your allies die or you lose clashes, it can also decrease to values of -45. So either way, your chance of hitting heads or tails is never fully 100%, and trust me, you will definitely notice that. Okay, when you pick your attacks, you might spot some text that appears next to them. Hopeless, struggling, neutral, favored, and dominating. These tell you about your chances of winning said clash, but don't always believe them. I will never forget this one fight I had in Kanto 8, where my 45 SP Faust got tails on a coin flip, while the boss with -20 SP got heads on all 5 coin flips and nuked my whole team with one attack. In the event that your clashes are not favored or dominating, you can choose to use an ego if you have the proper amount of sin resources. Each attack has an affinity associated with them based on the 7 sins: wrath, lust, sloth, pride, envy, gluttony, and gloom. Yes, greed isn't here. I guess gluttony's fat ass ate it, then got sad, so now we have depression.
I'm such a fat
Gloom.
chud.
But most newer players will just refer to them as their colors, since that's easy to remember. But don't worry, because as you play longer, these sins will become intertwined with said colors, and you'll become the coolest kid in kindergarten. Alright class, what color is this? Blue! Fools. I scoffed to myself. That's pride. If you've got the resources...
God damn. No, am I going to start associating sins with color? Oh, God. God. Oh, my God. I'm someone that has synesthesia, so, like, I associate words and sounds to colors, like, all the time. It's going to mess with my brain.
You can activate an ego, which is the closest thing to an ultimate that you can use in this game. This is how you get the big numbers for clashing, and you might be asking, why didn't I just use an ego during that Kanto 8 fight? And joke's on you, because I did, but still lost. Yeah, you know what you did wrong. Keep staring at that wall. Most, or some of the time, your egos will win, and their effects vary greatly. Seriously, these things are all over the place in terms of what they can do. Each of the sinners have their own base egos that range from Don Quixote giving back shots to blowing someone's head schmoove off, and whatever Gregor's going through.
There comes a giant fish!
But these skills do have a cost. Egos take away sanity, so technically you can spam them if you have the resources, but they will gradually make you go insane to the point of corrosion. When normal characters go to -45 sanity, if said character does not have a special ego, aka a gacha one, they will just not be able to move for one turn. However, if they do have a special ego, then they corrode, turning into a fucking monster that attacks randomly on field.
What the
These animations look really cool, but it's also pretty annoying when your Yisang has a nasty lineup on B site, only for him to then nuke your entire team. That is the very basic...
Okay, so that's like... Okay, the gameplay's mega RNG. To the point your own characters could nuke each other. That's... Okay, that's something.
Principle of Limbus Company gameplay. Get the higher number, win clash, and have high sanity. But what happens when you actually hit your opponents? Once you deal damage to enemies, your equipped characters might induce some status effects onto your foes. In terms of the status effects, there's approximately a metric ton of them, so allow me to just go over the main 7. Burn. This is linked with wrath and makes it so that enemies take a...
By the way, I'm gonna forget all of this tomorrow. I just want you all to know, this will go in one ear, out the other. I will forget all of this by tomorrow.
Certain amount of damage at the end of every turn. These are what the cool kids use. Bleed. This damage activates every time a coin rolls. A pretty fun status condition to use on your team, but an absolute bitch and a half to go against. These are what alphas use, and the same people that crush ants when they're walking. Tremor. This makes it so that enemies get staggered easier. These are what people who are currently bored with the game use.
What?
Rupture. Whenever enemies get hit, they take true damage based off of the rupture potency. This is tied to gluttony, which makes sense considering the best team takes 11 units to run. What a greedy fucking fat ass. People who run this status are nerds and are the summer ants that get crushed by bleed enjoyers.
I'm just gonna stomp you. You're gonna keep coming back. I'm gonna seal up all my cracks. You're gonna keep coming back. Why? Because you keep smelling the syrup.
Sinking. This status makes it so that enemies lose sanity as they take damage. The people that play sinking are the same players who will say this game has baby mode difficulty simply because they reduce the enemy's chance of attacking to 5%. Poise. This makes it to where your characters can crit. Typically beings with large amounts of testosterone run this. And lastly, we have charge, which improves certain skill effects. People who run this team are players that are trying to convince themselves that it's fun.
This is great. Granted, it takes some time to chew.
Bro, Over the Hedge is an underrated movie. Can I be for real? I loved this movie as a kid. Underrated, and for the time, the animation was actually peak.
Team building is what makes the gameplay so addictive in my opinion. Assembling a team of quirky IDs and finding out which ones work best together based off of their descriptions or team building sites is one of the most satisfying things you can do in this game. Especially when you enter the in-game mode and see your numbers stack up to 99 and watch as enemies just explode. And honestly, just in general, the game is at its most fun when you think. Coming up with a team, finding strategies to use against bosses and their mechanics is what makes this gameplay interesting, and it works really well in that aspect. When you start from nothing every fight and watch as your team slowly builds up as the battle progresses, you're getting bigger damage numbers, more heads on coin tosses, more status effects proccing. You can literally feel the tide shifting in the battle, and it's so satisfying. And I haven't even talked about the sound design to go along with the combat. Oh my god.
Jesus.
The sounds in this game are so crisp and satisfying to listen to, especially the coin flips. I have to change my underwear every time I play this game just because of the mess I end up making listening to pure bliss. And it's also a great rage baiting method. Ding 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 ding.
Would you shut the fuck up? Jesus Christ.
But it doesn't just stop with the coin flips. The attack sounds have so much weight to them. There's so much just...
I genuinely think really good sound design that could completely transform a game. Genuinely, any game where the sound design's good, I always notice it and I always point it out and I'm like, wow, that sounds great. The last game I said that to, you know, funnily enough, when I played Arc Raiders for the first time, I remember one of the first things I noticed was that the sound design was really good. And then I replayed Control recently, and I was like, damn, the sound design in that sounds really fucking good too with the abilities. Like, it really does add such a layer of a game.
You feel a blunt attack hit? You can tell that they use their fucking fist for that one.
Damn.
The voice acting in this game, stellar. Amazing.
Jesus, bro, okay?
나를 짓밟아 기억고 개씨와 떼어놓은 모든 것들을 자루 안에 담아서 어디든 지옥까지 끌고 다니며.
Is bro okay?
싱클레어.
Do it again.
싱클레어.
And the music, it goes so hard. And that's just the background music. I haven't even talked about the music that the band Millie has made for this whole franchise. Going back to Library of Ruin, it's been banger after banger after banger.
Can confirm. I've listened to the Millie OSTs already. You can go check that out on my Gacha Music Monday playlist on my channel. Peak. Actually made me cry.
Bar.
I didn't even play the game.
After bar. They do not miss.
No, there's no English dub for Limbus, unfortunately.
Is Limbus a good game? Yes. Is Limbus a great game? Yes. Is Limbus perfect? No. This game does a lot well, but there are some criticisms that I would like to point out. Wacky Dog is about to get serious for a second. The first criticism I want to address is the gameplay. You want to know one of the reasons why people don't really talk about Limbus? Well, aside from the absent marketing, this is probably one of the biggest reasons. Yes, I do like certain parts of the combat, and like I said, when the game encourages you to think, it is pretty fun and engaging. Having to pay attention to the boss's abilities and reading their descriptions rather than just making sure your number is bigger. But at the end of the day, that is mainly what matters. One of the biggest memes in the Limbus community is this little button over here called...
Is this just the equivalent of auto in HSR? Is this just the auto button from HSR?
Called win rate. Win rate is basically auto battle. It selects your best skills that have the highest chances of winning a clash. Win rate is what most of your combat experience is going to look like, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because I enjoy having to think and strategize in this game, but there's not many opportunities that warrant that unless you're fighting a major boss. Seriously, most people say that win rate can only get you to the end of Kanto 4, but that wasn't the case for me. I was able to just use win rate until like Kanto 5. Those who've played the game probably understand what happened to me.
At all the games, just one game I need you to coach.
I never did that before. But, I mean, I could try.
One time, come up with say it with me, a play. A play.
Yeah, I got you.
But even after that ass kicking, win rate is still a pretty viable option for most of the fights you'll have in this game. Thinking is fun. Reading is fun. But when you have a button that clears like 75% of the content, why would I even waste my time trying to think? Win rate is an issue I have with the combat, but ultimately, it is my choice as the player to
I don't really care, because at the end of the day, if you don't like it, if you don't like the idea of win rate, just simply don't use it. Right? No one's forcing you to use it. If you don't like it, just play the game. Like, it's just an option at that point.
Press set button, and I recognize this. It keeps the game casual, and it's nice to use on those days to where I just really can't be bothered to think, but I do wish this button wasn't so strong that I could clear basically every fight that isn't Millennia. But like I said, they aren't forcing you to press win rate. There's just not a lot of instances where you shouldn't be. However, my biggest problem with the combat is that everything revolves around clashing. In order for anything to be done in Limbus, attacks have to clash, and clashing in itself is a very RNG-based gimmick. There will always be a chance of an attack rolling tails, causing you to lose, no matter if you have 45 sanity. And yes, the randomness can be exciting at points, but it can also be extremely frustrating.
It's the I feel like this gameplay is the ultimate gambler's like dream gameplay. Everything being RNG, everything kind of being uncertain. I can tell why this appeals to gacha players.
Fucking hell, mortgage on my hell house! Fuck!
Especially towards late game Limbus and the story, to where
I'm gonna be real, when I hear people talk about Limbus, they always talk about the story and they never talk about the gameplay. I'm gonna be honest, they talk about the OSTs, they talk about the story, they do not talk about the gameplay of Limbus. It's always, the story's amazing, I love these characters, it's like, but no one hypes up the gameplay. Because most people don't know how to even play the game. The annoying thing is, I'm someone who actually likes to know how to play the game I'm playing. We'll see.
I can feel like if you just lose one coin toss, then your entire run is dead. Whether it be towards the end of a fight and then you just lose because they have a nuke, or at the very beginning of a fight to where you start a clash, lose neutral, and now all of your attacks are struggling, so you might as well just restart at that point. I feel like I have a higher chance of getting a 3-star in a 10 pull than I do of winning a neutral clash at numerous points in this fucking game. You should have rolled better. How about I roll my nuts on your face?
Get that ass banned.
Unbreakable coins. Unbreakable coins are the bane of my existence. For the uninformed, Kim Ji-hoon created unbreakable coins after being inspired by Germany's actions during World War II. This is why the coin color was chosen to be red. I rest my case. For those who don't play the game, I mentioned how if you win a clash, the enemy loses 1 coin. Unbreakable coins do not go away, meaning that if they lose the clash, the attack still goes off, but with heavily reduced damage. Now, I can live with getting hit for 4 damage. That's fine, but it's the 15 stacks of bleed that piss me off. Endgame and Mirror Dungeon. Mirror Dungeon is the endgame mode for Limbus. This can be accessed pretty early on, and I would argue that it's at its best for new players. Since it automatically levels up your units to max, giving you plenty of opportunities to try new characters and see if you want to actually invest in them for your normal teams. However, as you play more of Mirror Dungeon, it becomes exactly like the Squidward clip. Mirror Dungeon can be fun when you're trying new teams and seeing how far you can get your status effects to go. However, it can easily turn into a mindless win rate button simulator for an hour. Most of your Mirror Dungeon experience will likely turn into press win rate up until the last node, because there's a chance that there's a boss on the floor that might actually require some strategy. But there's also a chance that it doesn't. Mirror Dungeon can become difficult at times, which I do appreciate. But if I'm just trying to do my weeklies, I would like...
So Endgame's not really a big selling point of this game, is what I'm hearing.
...to have more engaging gameplay than me just pressing win rate and watching YouTube on my second monitor for an hour. Because once you catch up to the story, this is it. Limbus Company is just Mirror Dungeon. That's all there is to do. So I just wish there was a more consistent and interesting endgame mode available. The last criticism I have is the XP farming. Primarily in the beginning. I'd say that the early game Limbus experience isn't too bad, aside from leveling up characters. These tickets are not worth jack shit. Look at this. I have a level 1 Otis, and if I give her these tickets, it takes her to level 17. And if I do the exact same thing to my level 13 Faust, it takes her to 18. Huh? Until you reach Kanto 4, Node 48. Leveling characters you have is miserable. Once you get past that, it's fine. I don't have any problems. But before that, they might as well just give me a used piece of toilet paper, and it would be just as helpful. To wrap up this video, I would just like to reiterate that once again, I fucking love this game. Limbus Company is a great game.
I mean, bro did play 200 hours.
That has a phenomenal story, interesting characters, and fun gameplay.
It's rough at the start, but it's okay if you keep to small roster. It's okay. it can't possibly be as bad as me trying to level up my Arcanite Sandfield characters. It should be fine.
At times. The magic bullet is about to fire, dominating Clash. I swear to fucking God, if he gets heads on a -40, you will never hear the end of this. I am going! There's so many things that I haven't even talked about that just make me appreciate this game even more. Like how there isn't an RNG-based gear/loadout system. All you have to do is level up characters and level up their skills. That's it. Thank God.
Huge. That is great.
The small details I love, like how enemies get.
Because I hate having to level up characters, leveling up their weapon. Then you go level up all their skills, and then you got to level up like different like armors or weapons or echoes or whatever the fuck it is, and then you got to re-roll them and redo them. And oh my God.
Pushed further back in combat depending on how strong the attack is. Your characters will swap sides during animations, and how the British people in the game spell color wrong. Ego voice lines changing after completing contos. Heathcliff's bat even changing after completing his conto. But the best part is when you're done with one of the contos and the main center of the chapter gets to sing the outro song.
They sing at the end?
It's so good. It's so good. Money. Too bad the best was the first one here.
Yes,
And yes,
so
even though
good.
I have certain problems with the gameplay, I still play this game daily and enjoy my time here. This game can be extremely casual at many points, but it can also provide me with a nice challenge every now and then. But what keeps me going gameplay-wise is that I feel like Limbus respects my time, which is one of the reasons why I support this game so much.
Thank you.
And as for the community, wow.
I was the leader of a very influential group.
You mean
Oh no. Oh no. Not the has-been fucking memes.
the cult? You could call it a cult, but I'd say it was more of a movement.
The PM community is definitely passionate, to say the least. I mentioned how there's basically no advertisement for this game, and that statement is mostly true until you meet a Project Moon fan, because they won't shut the fuck up about it.
To be fair, like, I think it does speak volumes though when word of mouth is really how the games get around. I've never seen an ad for Limbus in my fucking life, but it's always been the community, and I do think it speaks volumes.
This fandom is the second generation of JoJo fans, and I mean that in many
Like
different
it
ways.
is.
From
It
the
is. No,
brain
that's such a good comparison. Wait, no, that's actually a phenomenal comparison.
rot to everyone claiming that insert thing is a Project Moon reference, and their media literacy skills. God forbid you're a literature teacher and have a Limbus fan in your classroom. But jokes
Oh no.
aside, it is nice to see how dedicated these fans are to not only Limbus, but the series in general. It is a charming energy that I've spectated from the outside. Yes, I see you, sleeper agents. This game's popularity is primarily contributed to word of mouth, but what's so interesting about this game's community, to me at least, is that everyone has a story for how they got into it.
Son, you know, once you start, there's no going back.
I don't think I've ever met someone who just stumbled upon Limbus on the Steam or App Store. It's either they were a Project Moon fan, they saw a video or meme about the game, a friend told them about it, Roblox, or another method. I only found out about this game because of art I saw on Twitter. I saw the words Don Quixote underneath a drawing and said, huh, I recognize that name from a question on an AP US test I took. She looks cute. Then I was bored one day and downloaded the game. Limbus Company means a lot to
That's
me, and I've wanted
wild.
to make a video
Bros, I'm bored.
on this game since June of this year. I even ended up making a whole separate gameplay montage for this game just because of how excited I was to edit this video. There is a lot to talk about with Limbus Company, and I would love to discuss the story, shocking reveals, and incredible boss fights, but I can't in good faith do that to you viewers who might want to give this game a try, because if I spoil this for you, I would feel terrible for robbing you of such a great experience, and this game has given me plenty of those, so I hope that it can do the same for you. This is Limbus Company, one of the best gacha games on the market right now, and one that you should definitely consider playing. Until you lose another dominating clash, fuck this game! Here's the other montage I made.
Oh, I assume it. Did the music get copyrighted? Oh, this part's copyright claimed? Oh, no. Dude, that's so sad. They got his ass. Goddamn. Persona got him. Jeez. That's so sad. Dude, I'm so excited to be playing tomorrow. And I will be 22nd. You can catch me at 3 p.m. UK time. I will be unlisting the live stream afterwards, but I will be uploading. I'll be uploading a bit more of like maybe like an edited down like highlight of the game where it takes out any like fluff or whatever. And we'll be putting it in a playlist, like in parts. So like you'll still be able to watch it like more streamlined, and you'll be able to watch it all in parts. Did you already play Limbus? I played like 20 minutes of it like a year ago. So not really. But that's kind of how it be. So I appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow for some actual Limbus gameplay. Have fun. Maybe you'll like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. I'll see you next time. Stay silly. Peace.